my name's Micheal. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. Sorry that is so generic, but anyways. So yeah, today's video is a little bit different. Obviously, my face. What? Oh, I got a face. If you really have watched some of my other videos, you would see that I've done a couple of tutorials that nobody watches. And I've done a vlog that only 20 people have watched, so I'm pretty accomplished on YouTube. Anyways, I'm doing a reaction video, not to Shane's second part 2 to TanaCon, but to the interview he does in that video. Story of my life. So I'm doing this on my phone. But it reminded me why I don't do it. Yeah. And I have a lot to say, so that's why I'm just going to play the interview. So as it goes, I'll just like pop off whenever I feel necessary. And I will have it in the box up here. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to play the audio or not, but basically if you want to see the entire video, link in the description. So I might play the audio, I might not. I haven't decided yet, so I guess I'll decide in editing. Alright.
Hey.
He's scary. Like,
hey.
I want to say something before you, if you're okay.
You know what's funny? I'm sorry, I'm already pausing it. He was basically saying, I want to say something before you start recording. That's what he was saying. But then I don't know if Shane cut it off or if he like just...
The last thing I want to do is throw anyone under the bus, and I'm risking my career by potentially throwing someone under the bus that I work with, and I don't want to do that.
Risking his career.
But I do want to talk,
who's
and I do
gonna
want
fire
to answer questions and
the
everything.
CEO
When you say you don't want to throw somebody under the bus, you mean
of your own website?
Tana?
Like,
Perhaps. For
I'm
the
the
record,
CEO of my
we film
Instagram.
from the beginning to the end, like every piece of footage. I'm going to put the documentary.
Alright, so that's what I'm gonna posit. The first timestamp. Okay, so the first issue I have is when he's like, I am going to film a documentary myself and I am going to post it. What gets me the most is if you actually go to the Good Times website, you can find a link, or maybe it's the website under his name, Michael Weist, whatever. You can find a link to his subscription service, which is a subscription service that you can subscribe to for, I think it's like $6.99 or $60 a year, and basically you get unlimited like content to watch from YouTubers. It's almost like Patreon, but it's like his version of Patreon, if that makes sense, like his website of Patreon. Does that make sense? But long story short, I wouldn't put it past him that he's going to put this Tana documentary series, because he knows people are going to watch it. Even if it's him making it, people are going to watch it. And you know he's going to put that documentary on that stupid subscription service. So you have to like basically subscribe to it before you see it. And since he said he's going to have a part 1 and a part 2, I wouldn't be surprised if he has little tiers, like the more money you spend, the higher up you are on a tier, so the more access you have to that kind of content, or if he's just going to post every month another part. So essentially you have to stay subscribed to him to see the next part. But luckily, some trooper out there is going to pay the $6.99 and illegally download it and post it on YouTube. So go you, whoever you are in the future. And he's literally wearing the same outfit in every freaking like video. So he's wearing that Gucci necklace and a black shirt. But then here for this interview,
the first scene is Tana and I
he's
was
wearing just like regular,
like me going to
clothes.
Tana's house and then Bella's house, and like we have everything. From the beginning to like,
why would we not make a documentary? Because if this becomes a total disaster, I'm still gonna make money off the documentary on my subscription service.
Why were you
And if
doing
it was good, I'm still gonna make money off my subscription service. Duh. I don't think Shane realizes he has a subscription. So Shane, if you're watching my video,
So that was one thing that I heard today, which was that you guys wanted to own all the footage, even Hunter's. Like,
I like how
was
he
that
just
true?
like pretty much admits like
he
he tries to like give an excuse and then he realizes like, and he just kind of gives up halfway through. just want to make a documentary.
Okay. I think the main thing is, and the reason I was so confused, it didn't make sense to me. Before
He's
I even
such a jerk. How are you gonna sit there? Hold on, let me pause this. How are you gonna be sitting there doing a Shane Dawson interview? Shane Dawson had the decency to not only reach out to you, but give you a platform to give you a chance to like basically explain your situation, yourself, whatever you want to say. And you're gonna sit there and vape and text and whatever the heck else he was doing, drink your little drink while you're on an interview with Shane Dawson. Like, how disrespectful can you be? Like, who do you think you are? That's what drives me the most crazy about this guy, is that he thinks, like, he has this entitlement kind of like aura, if that makes sense. Like, he puts off an aura of entitlement, and it's just irritating. Like, you know, people like that just rub you
the
down.
Marriott told me to my face.
Like, you're being interviewed
right
by
around 4,000
freaking
people
Shane Dawson,
all the
and you're like...
space, the main ballroom, lobby, the restaurant days will be bought out for Saturday meetups.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Okay, so the Marriott, I used to work there, and they pride themselves on guest satisfaction. And the first thing they do when you call the Marriott for an event is they don't even tell you no pricing. They don't tell you how much room they have or nothing. They say, oh, let me get you on the phone with our sales representative. And most of the time they're not available, and you have to schedule a time for them to like call you and you do the whole meeting. And then the first thing they ask you is what type of event and how many people are you expecting. So there's no way that any of this is on the Marriott, because unless that sales representative was just, you know, like, just like, I don't know how to explain. Like, he would have to be terrible at his job. Marriott I worked at wouldn't hire you unless you had a bachelor's degree. I was a stylist. That's how I was able to work there. But most of the jobs up there, you had to have a bachelor's degree to have. And I'm pretty sure to be the sales, like the event planner, I'm pretty sure you have to have a bachelor's degree in some type of marketing, whatever. But regardless of that, they go through intense training. There's no way that that guy communicated with Micheal and lied to him like he alleges. Like, he alleges that Marriott lied to him about how many people they could hold. That's a lie. And then on top of that, you didn't rent out all the rooms for the event you were holding, which had he had rented out all the rooms, organized the meet and greets, you know, the right way, he probably could have gotten away with people coming in and then leaving after their meet and greets or whatever the case was. And apparently, according to the Marriott and the police, that is what he told them when they were like, oh, you're going to have that many people, okay? And really, honestly, what I think is I really think that the guest list was like 2,000, 3,000 people that had actually bought tickets or whatever, had tickets. And honestly, I know people say that crowd looks like 5,000 people. I don't even think that crowd was 5,000 people. I want to say 3,000 tops. And with that being said, I think that they just couldn't handle like their situation. You know what I mean? Like,
for the record,
the Marriott didn't
we are looking into litigation against the Marriott.
Yeah, good luck suing the Marriott.
$700,000 on the event alone, not including
okay, that's something else that drives me. Well over $700,000 on the.
We're not blocked off from the rest of the hotel at all, so I feel really bad for the actual guests that are here.
We're 100% going.
The Marriott didn't do anything to you, that's for sure.
Now, I think one other thing
they
that
actually
was
need to
was
compensate the
where
Marriott.
did the number 15,000 people come from? Because I don't believe that for a second.
We basically know that there was well more than 10,000 people out there. I don't know exactly what that number is, but based on like what was inside, and basically when that first 1,000 people came in, that should have been.
I like how he asked the question about like how did y'all find out if there's 15,000 people, and then he just goes, we know there was well over 10,000 people out there. Like, what'd you do? Get on your Segway and, like, just drive around and figure it out? Like, come on. I can actually make a compilation video, is that what it's called? Compilation video of Micheal on a Segway. Like, seriously. Here it is. Hope you enjoyed. But it's just so frustrating, like, watching this unfold, because like Shane is like, I'm trying not to sugarcoat things, but it's like, Shane, come on, ask him the hard questions. Ask him like, where's the money from the ticket sales? Who is the ticket sale company? Or how much money was the event? Like, not the event, but like, how much money was the venue? How much did you pay security? How much did you pay on the goodie bags? You know, like, ask him about the numbers. Make him show receipts. Make him show proof. You know what I mean? But maybe that's what we're going to see in part 3. Who knows? Maybe that's what he's holding for the documentary. Who knows? But I highly doubt that that's the case, because if I was getting scrutinized by the world and I had proof to prove my innocence, I would have done that the first freaking day. That's for sure. I would not wait. But let's continue.
It wasn't. Like, it was, people were asking to buy tickets at the door. People were asking for this. Like, it was, that's what caused the delay. And in hindsight,
and you know how,
we should have had a separate
and
line.
he said that too. He said that it was only 1/5 of the crowd. We know exactly who's going in and who is going to go out. We've done it many times before. He has a point. He has before in his other meet and greets has made scheduled times where people have paid as much as $200 to come in, meet their favorite creator, and then literally leave 30 minutes later. You know what I'm saying? And the creators don't get paid for this. At least from Good Times, from what I've heard, they don't get paid for this. So Tana, it's not like she made money out of this, you know what I mean? But I will get to that at the end of the video.
That somebody sent me, your assistant sent me.
Ain't nobody gonna do anything for free.
It was only like 390 people, and the girls I met today that showed me proof that they did RSVP, their names weren't on the list. So everything just seems so confusing, because I'm like, what is this? Like, there clearly was like, if it was just like, oh, we fucked up, we didn't know what we were doing, this was way out of our hands, like we shouldn't have taken this on, that's one thing. I think what people are confused about is like all the lies. It's like, oh, we had really good security. Like, no, you didn't. Oh, we had background checks. Oh, we had multiple lines. Like, no, there wasn't. It was just one line. Oh, like, there was like a crazy mob of angry 12,000 people. Like, no, it was probably mostly people that did buy tickets, and like there wasn't really any free tickets.
It's just this freaking entitlement that he has. Like, oh, I hang out with YouTube celebrities all the time.
Like,
have you seen
Shane
anyone
Dawson
with like a regular free bag?
Everyone's
had VIP that I've spoken to.
All the free giveaways, like, was that just not real? Was it like, you know what I mean? There's just so many things like that are confusing that Tana isn't able to answer, and maybe she is, and maybe she's lying to me.
I like how they
That's what I want to get down to the bottom of. So it's not even about throwing people under the bus. It's like, what the fuck happened?
And I know you're concerned. I'm probably more concerned than anyone.
You're not more concerned than anyone.
I wanted this event to succeed more than anyone else. Like, I spent money that I didn't have. Every line of credit that I could access, I did it because I.
You know, I probably believe that part where he's like, every line of credit I've accessed, I've used as a resource, not for TanaCon, but just in general. He probably is in debt, and like owes a lot of money to creditors. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, and I assume that's why he needed to make money off of this convention so bad that he planned it the way he planned it, or. You know, I feel like the reason why it was like so cheap, let's just be honest, that's what TanaCon was. It was cheap. You know, the lack of space is, you know, obviously because of the lack of money, and, you know, the goodie bag being a freaking condom is like a lack of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I assume, now he says he doesn't have the money from the ticket sales, but I'd assume he did get the money from the ticket sales, and that was the money he was supposed to use on the event. And then instead of doing that, he used it to like pay for his car or his house. And then now that he has to like technically return the money, maybe he's gonna lose his car and his house supposedly. But another thing that, you know, Tana says at the end, she says something about like using his mom's real estate or something. So it makes it kind of hint that this is like some pompous little rich kid, which could explain the entitlement and the imaginary business online. But anyways, I don't know. Let's just go back to the video. But I'm just saying he did not spend $700,000 on TanaCon. Honestly, 20,000 tops, if that is what they probably spent. But I don't believe for a second that the ticket company has the money. I think he had the money and he spent it on whatever he needed to spend it on, like his debt. That's what I think. That's what I think. Is I think he needed the money so bad because he hadn't worked since like January, February. That was the last time he did his last convention, so it would have been the last time he probably made money. I would assume, was like 3-4 months into it, you're so in debt that they're about to repo your car and they're gonna like come evict you from your house. So I assume he probably got this money from the ticket sales, paid for his priorities first, and then put the rest in TanaCon. But that is just speculation. That is just me assuming. That doesn't mean what I'm saying is true. Do the research yourself. And part 3, when it comes out, we'll figure it out.
We could do this, and Tana's vision would, be a success. And I'm going to lose everything over this.
So what do you mean when you say that? You put in your own personal.
I'm gonna lose everything. I'm gonna lose my car, my house, like. I promise you. See, he said, I'm the sole owner of Good Times. That's my point. He owns Good Times. Good Times is him. We need to stop saying Good Times and start saying Micheal, because Micheal is responsible for Good Times. Micheal is Good Times. He needs to stop saying we. There is no we. It's you. You know what I mean? Like, it's me, you, I. That's what he needs to start saying.
Is everything, I guess. Like, it's expensive.
And it is expensive to throw a convention. That's why you didn't throw a convention. You threw a meet and greet.
I am more upset than
and he looks so
imagine.
upset.
You don't understand, Shane. It is so hard for me. I'm going to lose everything. Like,
he's trying. It's like he's trying extra hard
can I ask you
to
a personal
like
question?
be like.
Yeah.
Oh my god. How did you get into all of this? How long have you been
Shane
doing
makes
this?
A point.
Like,
boy, you're only 21. And you're losing a car and a house, like, big deal. You gotta move back in with your parents, big deal. Like, you will survive, trust me. I think I moved back in with my parents when I was like 21, 22, and I stayed until they kicked me out. I milked that, If you're under 18, you're ready to like turn 18 and move the heck out of your parents' house, unless they're abusing you in some way, milk that as long as you can. I promise you. Because another thing I do want to say, and this is kind of morbid and sad, but it's like one day your parents aren't going to be here and you're going to regret moving out early. Like, seriously. I did. When I moved back in, my dad had cancer and it sucked. So, yeah.
I'm shaking violently. Like, I'm shaking right now. There's nothing I can do about it.
Why?
I'm shaking violently.
You said that you didn't want to throw Tana under the bus, because tonight I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna talk to her, and I'm gonna at some point call you with her. But I want to get to the bottom of it with her. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I want.
This is violent.
So what? When you say you don't want to throw her under the bus, what do you mean? Is there something that nobody's saying? Is there something that nobody knows about? Was this her plan? Like, what was
Clout say nuts.
We're all so excited and so happy. Like,
sorry, that was
full of love and joy. We're all doing this for the right reasons.
So your birthday party on the 22nd.
Oh yeah, we have to have
love and joy.
Like,
oh yeah.
And I do it for the right reasons. She looks like she ain't even wearing panties. And then right there, yeah. That right there tells me he's a yes man.
Yeah.
He just says yes, 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 yes.
Do you think that the bottom line is
such a conspiracy?
This was just way out of your guys' realm of, who needs to be compensated more than the fans? The freaking Starbucks workers at that Marriott, who's, 2,000 teenagers ordering Starbucks?
Do we have to do it at VidCon dates across the street? Can I put it in a different city?
I hate this. Okay, so now he's trying to blame the fact that it failed on Tana again, describing about how he's trying to hint at the fact that like she really is adamant on wanting it on her birthday, on the same weekend as VidCon, on near VidCon, within walking distance. It's like those were her requirements and he had to work around that. And it's just like, dude, you could have done whatever the heck you wanted and Tana would have showed up and not known half of what was going on. Like, I promise you, you know what I mean? And most of the people that showed up there didn't even, I would assume most of the people that did go to TanaCon didn't go to VidCon. So, like, if you had did it in even in a different city, a neighboring city, people still would have gone, to TanaCon. So, the excuse of, like, Tana did this and that and wanted this and that, his excuse is that, like, Tana's being difficult or was being difficult and she wasn't, like, present during the planning. And it's just, like, that's not an excuse because, like, Tana hired you, And I think a lot of us forget the difference between celebrities and YouTubers. And, yes, some YouTubers are celebrities, but it's like celebrities have more, I guess you could say, assistants around them, like that corporate, like YouTubers, some of them, once they get up there, they hire people, you know, but they're always their own boss, if that makes sense. At the end of the day, unless they're like working for BuzzFeed or something, they're always their own boss. But I think with Tana is that this guy approached her. He sold her a dream. He said, you know, you're not going to pay for anything, but also I'm not going to be able to pay you either. None of the creators are going to get paid, but I will pay for y'all's hotels, y'all's transportation, or whatever the case was. And then he tells her, I'll take care of everything. You know, I know you're a busy girl, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure that that's the dream he sold Tana. And yeah, maybe Tana might have made a promise like, oh yeah, I'll be there for this meeting, that meeting, and maybe she wasn't there. Like, you expect that out of Tana. And no offense to Tana, she's a great girl, but she's kind of useless. So I don't see the excuse of how Tana not being present in the planning hindered your ability to pull off a successful convention. You know, it's the fact that her name is on it is the biggest issue. You know, and the fact that she kept freaking tweeting out free tickets. Like, I'm sure that wasn't like, you know, the best thing to do.
To get the perfect venue.
And be honest, like,
at the end of the day,
he could have done everything like himself on his own, and Tana
if the Marriott simply couldn't do it, they should have never, ever let that happen. And also, like,
that makes me so. I don't even have the money for the ticket company. The ticket company is holding funds. It's like, no, you don't have the money because you use that money to spend it on the event and whatever else you need the money for. Like, don't try to fool us and try to say there's some ticket company involved. Like he's putting the blame on everybody but himself. He's put all the blame on the ticket company, the Marriott, Tana. Like, who else is gonna be at blame? Shane? Next thing you know, it's gonna be his fault for making this documentary. Like,
no, you honestly, I don't want to say to throw her under the bus, but
so far we got 3 people that he's like,
she's not making you look great.
I know she's not.
Blame.
I cannot deal with it, Shane. It's so hard. So
I don't
hard.
believe Tana spent $1 either.
Like, she spent hundreds of thousands of her own money. No,
excuse me,
not $1.
I'm also so incredibly excited for the future of TanaCon and the future of making my event as cheap and free as possible.
We spent everything. We paid for everything out of my pocket, Shane. Like, I risked it all to make this happen. My house, my car,
and that's another thing.
Everything.
If this really came out of your pocket, show the receipts.
But throughout the whole video, not one receipt was shown. And I knew it, girl. When I saw it, I'm like, girl, you just linking this together with thin pieces of glue. It ain't adding up, girl. You're trying to fit a narrative that didn't add up to house.
It's not what we wanted to happen.
What was the goodie bag thing? That was another big thing where people were just like so mad because it was told, oh, this is going to be quadruple, the ticket price is going to be awesome. And it was like,
then he also sold tickets, like...
This is another thing that pisses me off and breaks my heart. Like, basically, Tana and I did not meet.
Yeah, y'all barely met.
Tana would basically give us all these things to deal with. I'm going to meet 5,000 people. How the fuck is Tana going to sit there and meet 5,000 people? But Tana would be like, the gift bag is going to be 4 times what it is. The event's in 2 weeks, Tana. How are we going to do that? I can't order product from China or here or where to get it into a goodie bag in time. I can't call a sponsor to give us that in a week. You can, Tana. Maybe you can call such and such and get free makeup put in every gift bag. Help us. She would just tweet and have to abide by it. Oh, well, the meetup groups are going to be this way. Okay, great. Now let us go back and reschedule everything and try to fix it out in and out. Like, that's not how business works. And the worst part about all of this was that Friday night when everything happened, I cried for hours. I was literally walking from venue to venue crying.
How dare Tana celebrate her birthday?
It's 11
You know what I mean? Like, how dare
Tana
go out and party and celebrate her birthday? But you don't want to throw her under the bus. So you don't want to throw her under the bus, but she was at a party. Like, I don't want to I don't want to tell my friend, but she was at a party. It's like, you know, like when your mother comes and asks you, like, did Cindy sneak out? And you're like, you know, if I lie to my mom, I'm going to be grounded. But if I tell my sister, she's going to be mad at me. It's like, it's my sister's fault for going out. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, are you really going to take the fall? If for this person? Like, what are you gonna gain from it?
Really trying not to be like attacking.
Being like punished. So
what do you want to do? Do you want to reschedule the entire event for January? We didn't even know.
Push him.
No word from Tana. Well, I'm crying that I just lost everything that I had. Trying to find solutions.
I'm crying because I lost my Cadillac and my freaking apartment I was renting.
The day before and try to fix it. Like, that was a huge pivotal point. We had basically 12 hours to find a solution.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting in this boardroom with
that's another thing that gets me the most is like if Tana like was invested as he's trying to make it seem like she was, like she had these rules or whatever, Tana would have walked into TanaCon or whatever, the venue, and looked around and been like, no, we're not doing this. She had these high standards that he had to just abide by, these standards that she'd tweet out and he just had to abide by. Like, then why, when Tana arrived, was she just totally okay with whatever you had there? Because what you had there was total crap, you know, and I highly doubt that's what Tana envisioned. So, you know what I mean? Like, my point is that, like, if she cared enough my point is that he's trying to make it seem like she cared so much about this TanaCon and she is so involved in the planning that he couldn't make decisions without her, and that she would also just make decisions on a whim and he just had to abide by them because of Twitter or whatever the case was. When the whole thing is like, if you had to abide by your rules so strictly, was that her envision for TanaCon? So when she walked in, she's like, you know me, you know what I mean? It's like, come on. Like, obviously, this was obviously you failed at what you did, or what you tried to do, and just own up to it. You know what I mean? It's like, I know I'm being really hard on him, and I'm not like a super fan of Tana either. She's definitely at fault as well, but I feel like she was targeted. I do feel like this, like, you know, they did say he approached her, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like he approached her and sold her a dream that, you know, he couldn't make happen. You know what I'm saying? But he wanted it so bad because that's like so much money that he would have made off of it had he probably did make money off of it. Regardless, he's gonna make money off of it, is what I'm saying, because even if he doesn't make money from the ticket sales or spent all his money like he says, he's still gonna make money off the documentary if he puts it on a little subscription thing. Maybe, I don't know.
Her to death, and it's gonna look bad. Every character's gonna be like, oh, we don't want to work.
Oh, that's another thing. We don't want to work with Micheal because he's gonna throw me under the bus. That's another thing. A lot of celebrities or YouTube celebrities that have been involved with Micheal had said that he is known for blackmailing YouTubers for like knowing information about them and then using that against them. This guy essentially holds people's information above them.
But like, Shane, I'm damn near suicidal over this. Like, this is really, really hurting me. And people don't understand that. Tan doesn't understand that.
I like how he tries to say, like, he's suicidal. You know that can get you taken to the mental institution, right? When you,
then that's why I'm doing this. I mean, my goal is to give some reality checks.
All it takes is a phone call to your address and the police do a little welfare check, and then usually take you away.
Loving it, like coming from a place of love, not a place of anger. I'm sorry that you've had to experience it. I'm sorry Tana has to. I'm sorry the fans had to.
No, I really haven't.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you definitely put out apologies and statements faster than she did, and that kind of says something, so.
And we were trying to even faster. Like, our team wrote them as soon as it happened. Like, what's the plan? We couldn't get a response. Like, I've got to figure out what to do. Like, I'm looking at bankruptcy. It's going to probably ruin my life for the next 7 years.
Well, I'm glad that we're doing this.
Bankruptcy.
You know, at the end of the day.
Like, it's going to ruin my credit for the next 7 years because my car got repossessed. My car got repossessed as a result of me not being able to pay it for the past couple of months. That's the thing about debt, is that you have 3 months, 4 months to pay your debt. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they loan you money and then you have to pay it like right away. Like you have a couple of months. So the fact that he's gonna go bankrupt and he's lost all this money and he's gonna lose his car and his house. So the fact that he's gonna go bankrupt and he's gonna lose his car and his house, that isn't a result of TanaCon. That's a result of him not being able to pay his bills. Because, like I said, you have at least 3 or 4 months to pay those bills before they come repo or evict you or whatever the case is. You know, maybe not in all cases, but in most cases you have a couple of months. So it's not like TanaCon is the reason why his stuff is getting repossessed or taken away from him or his credit's going to crap. Like, that stuff takes time. And the fact that he's trying to blame it on Tana is just ridiculous. Like, because you're lying. You're not telling the truth. And it's like so obvious. Because if he was telling the truth, he would have receipts. If I was innocent, I would show the receipts that make me look innocent. Even if it's just a little freaking clip, I would show it. You know what I mean? Like, I would show it.
Tana really did think that this guy was like some crazy scheme.
I like how he's using like the mansion video. Shout out, because I put it in my video, so maybe he found it from my video, I don't know. Shane does, okay, I'm going to stop this. Shane does stalk a lot of us on YouTube. Like, you may think that Shane doesn't watch YouTube, but you'd be surprised. He actually stalks a lot of people on YouTube, especially stuff about himself. And I don't think it's more because he's self-centered, but I think it's more of like, he's self-conscious about it, you know, like, Shane, you're perfect. You don't really gotta, you know, worry about that. But hi, and if you're watching my video, leave a comment. I want to know. Like, if you're stalking me, let me know. But anyways, what was really cool, though, is that today somebody did a live stream. His name's iNabber, INABBER. You should check out his YouTube. He did a live stream, and actually in his live stream, Shane showed up. And he was commenting and reading the chat. And it was crazy. Like, Shane was reading people's messages. And you probably saw mine where I kept pressing, because I really wanted iNabber to come out and say, like, you know, what I was trying to get him to say. But I was basically trying to get him to say, like, where's the money? You know, where the ticket sales go? Did he really spend $700,000? So I know Shane saw it. And, you know, that's the only question I have is, like, why are you not asking the hard questions? Why are you not asking for receipts? Or is it just a simple fact that, like, that's going to be in part 3? Or is there even going to be a part 4, maybe? Because what about the people from the Marriott, you know? What about showing receipts, you know? More stuff is going to come out, and I don't think it's going to stop at part 3. Like, I think Peter Mon said something about part 6. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes on to part 6. Like, Shane would probably be like, ugh! If you like my channel, thank you. If you're already subscribed, I appreciate it. And if you're not, please do so. I would really, really appreciate it. Yeah, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, I'm sorry. I will come out with better videos in the future. And yeah, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I'll see y'all in another video, and sorry that I was so hyper. It's just, like, I've been doing this video, like, 2 or 3 times in a row, so, like, by the 3rd time, I'm, like, you know what I'm saying? So